Hello, my name is Isaac Bledsoe. Today I'm going to be talking about another TED Talks video, and this video is titled How I Beat Stage Fright. The presenter of this, the speaker, is a man by the name of Joe Kowan. Joe Kowan is a Boston-based musician, and he says he has suffered from stage fright his whole life. From his early childhood years and to his adult years as a musician, he says he's never been able to shake his fear of performing in front of others. And you can see how being a musician and suffering from stage fright could complicate things for him. And those two things, they really don't go together. So, Joe decides he's had enough of this. He wants to conquer this fear, and he even talks about how he's so nervous to perform in front of others that he can't even perform in his own room of his house because he's afraid his roommates might hear him outside the door. So you can see the level of nervousness he has with this subject. And Joe decides he's going to conquer this. He's going to end it, and he's going to go to an open mic night at a local bar in his hometown of Boston, and he's going to go to this bar and perform in front of all these people. So Joe decides once Wednesday night comes along, the open mic night, he decides he's going to this open mic. He gets there, he walks in the door, and he looks around, and the place is packed. But it's not really packed. He says there's probably about 20 people there, but to him the whole place feels packed, and he says the whole audience is angry, and they're all looking right at him. So from the get-go, it kind of sounds like maybe this isn't going to work out so well. But Joe says he wasn't nervous the whole time until he actually gets up on stage. And as soon as he gets up on stage with his guitar and he opens his mouth, the first note that comes out is terrible. The pitch is off, the tone is off, he's embarrassed, the audience is embarrassed for him, and he gets off the stage feeling a little bummed out, but he says to himself, he decides he's going to go back to this bar every single Wednesday night, every single open mic night, and he's going to perform in front of these people until he can get it right. And so he does. He goes back to this bar every single Wednesday night. And what do you think happens? Nothing. He cannot shake this fear of performing in front of others. So, as he's sitting there thinking about how to conquer this fear, he decides he's going to write a song about it. Being a musician, putting his thoughts onto paper, he decides he's going to write a song about his stage fright. And so he does. He begins to write this song, and he decides he's going to perform this song at his next open mic night. So the next open mic night comes along. He gets there with this new song, ready to perform. He gets up on stage in front of all the audience looking angry, and they're all staring right at him. And he performs this, and he does great. He kills it, and the crowd loved it. They loved his song, and he says it really helped him be able to conquer this fear because he was able to resonate with the audience, how he was feeling, and he was also able to make them understand and kind of think about his situation. And so, as Joe's talking to the TED Talks audience, which is a little bit more than 20 people, he repeatedly says how nervous he is. And I didn't think he looked that nervous. I thought he did very well, but he decided that he wanted to perform the song in front of the audience. And of course the audience wants to hear it because they just heard the story about the song. So Joe gets his guitar, he goes to the center of the stage, and he begins to play. And there's actually a really funny lyric in there that I wanted to share with all of you. He says something along the lines of, like the old saying, imagine the audience naked if you're nervous. And he goes, why would I want a bunch of random strangers staring at me naked while I'm trying to talk about something that's important to me? And I never really thought about it too much until he said that, and I was like, that really does make a lot of sense. Why would you want a bunch of random strangers naked watching you talk about something that you find important, and hopefully that you want the audience to find important? Why would you want them all to be naked staring at you and listening to this presentation? And I thought that was funny. The song was great. He played it well. And what I really think Joe wanted us to take from his presentation is that the only way to conquer our fears and to face these fears head on is to actually confront them. Even if it requires multiple confrontations, we just need to confront these fears, become vulnerable, and face them. And one final thought or one final question I would like to ask you guys is, how are we ever supposed to grow as people, as human beings, as students, as members of society? How are we ever supposed to grow if we never step outside of our comfort zone? Thank you very much.